pertinent and to the point for everybody. If at any time you have questions, concerns, or anything you need me to clarify or talk about, just let me know. I'd be happy to take the time to address that. Starting off to your right, got a big group of birthdays: Grant, Teresa, Debbie, Amanda, Kim, Lydia, and Becca. So happy birthday to our January birthdays. And if we missed you, I apologize. Congrats to our latest cappers. These individuals capped just recently: Brian Hazley, Todd Paxton, Becca Potter, Ruthie Stewart, and Mr. Ethan Rapier. So congrats to all of you for all the hard work, and we look forward to another great year and more people capping as we go through it. One announcement I wanted to make: our next partner meeting, I'll probably have it in a slide at the very end. We're going to try to focus heavily on our end of year numbers and how we did in 2020 for both our market and our region. As of right now, Roger's in the middle of doing transmittal, finalizing all our numbers and getting everything prepped and ready. So we'll be better prepared to have all of those reports on the partner meeting on the 20th. So I'm excited about talking about numbers. That's my big thing. And more importantly, it'll give us a baseline for what we should expect this coming year as well. But the numbers we do have, this is roughly for, I think, the end of November. This is KWRI, the entire group nationally. The reason I want to show this chart just real quick, it just shows that we are consistently up for KW International across the board. It's been a bang up year, and performance-wise, it's been an amazing November and an amazing year end. Don't want to focus too much on the international group, but do want to focus on our numbers. Make sure we got those. So this is our local market and how we did month over month from last year and then year to date. And just things that I always point out or try to point out is that you do see some negative items on here, but the ones that matter to me are the volume of contracts written and the amount of commission that we're pulling in. And as we can see, we're up 27% for contracts written month over month, and closed commissions up 11%. Still down 2% year over year. That is not too bad. That's pretty good. So we've maintained, even in a year of COVID where things have hit our markets pretty differently, depending on where you're at and where you live. I think the local market has weathered it well. And from much of the conversations I have with agents, this has been one of the best years they've had. And so I don't know if that's consistent across the board, but I've heard great things about how this last year has been. What news I have read about the coming year is that it's probably going to be pretty close to what this year was like. It doesn't feel like there's going to be a big fall off or a flood of foreclosures. No, I don't know, but in the end, we can generally expect to have roughly the same kind of year this year that we did last year. And before we jump into all the other slides, I just want to make a mention that Family Reunion, they're already starting to register. There are some early bird specials. I think we can buy them in blocks of 15 for $80 to $90. But if we don't register soon, that price goes up to, I think, either $109 or $119. So encourage all agents to go ahead and log on to Family Reunion website, take a look at it. If you're into
typically a $700 price tag, and it's the same thing. I always think it's funny. It's like we'll go to the Family Reunion, and then everybody else says, it's great. I'll go every time when it starts. But you're sitting in a big auditorium kind of looking up at the TV screen, watching it. But I do love doing that. But you can have this for $100 or $109 or whatever it is.
Right.
And, we're going to look at doing the experience with it's here, looking at maybe a movie theater or we can stream anything. So.
Right.
Can we, like, because I'm all about saving $25 or whatever it is, if we know that we want to jump in now, can a bunch of us get the
I'd say
pay her in and then pay to get the group
yes.
price?
Yes, I would say let's get the list to Roger and we'll send a notice out to the whole team as just a friendly reminder that if you're interested, let us know. We'll get the names down and we'll start blocking it off. But
the cool
yes.
thing, I know I was busy during the mega camp. The cool thing was, mega camp was our first shot at doing something so massive. And on a scale of 1 to 10 of how quality of an event that it was a 9.5. I mean, I was thoroughly impressed of the flow of it, the level of the trainings and how they did it to orchestrate something of that magnitude. What did they say on the call yesterday? That they're expecting an attendance of 75,000. It was absurd.
Yeah. Yikes. Oddly, I saw some of the numbers around that I don't remember on the call yesterday, but yeah, and it should be very similar to the way Mega Camp was. So if you participate in Mega Camp, family reunions roughly going to be the same. Before I jump any more forward, I'm going to pass the mic to Mr. Craig Everly.
I just wanted to touch base. Just kind of some exciting, just a little something kind of exciting, but a little different. But I've identified that right now that I'm going to step down as the OP of the Market Center. I'm still going to be an investor. I'm still going to be highly involved in the Market Center with training and classes and plugging in. I just identified that I feel that there's a better candidate to continue to take us where we're going. I feel I was the right person. I've been in about every role within the Market Center, from team leader to OP to broker to now. What I'm excited about doing is I get to be an investor in the Market Center and be that, what I'm going to strive for is to be that ideal poster child investor where I'm teaching, I'm involved in culture. I'm still trying to figure out what it is I'm going to do next, but it's definitely will be Keller Williams in Southern Indiana, just as in what aspect, whether it's, I don't know if it's going to be an agent or coaching or whatever that might be. I was teaching my class 6.5 steps to building a successful real estate business today. And it's just like, okay, I'm back to step 1 on identifying the vision of what it is that I want to create for myself personally. But yeah, so I just wanted to kind of share that. I talked to the ALC about that a couple of weeks ago, and so I've got a candidate that we're talking to. I'm not sure if that's going to be the one. I met with Press McKissick yesterday, and we're some things, but we're going to bring in somebody that's going to be great and it's going to continue to take us forward, because we've come a long way in the 10, 11 years that we've been here. I told someone the numbers of what we have done this year, and I'll pull it up real quick. And that is, when you look at what we've done as a company, and that was, let's see here. Yeah, so this year we're going to be right about 1,500 units sold as a company and 300 million. No, I'm sorry. 300 million in volume. I mean, that's a huge amount of real estate. Pacing the same as about last year, was about the same numbers, to go through a year of pandemic and doing that, and then starting years ago as Keller Who and to where we are now. So we're just gonna continue moving forward, and, just kind of excited to be an agent contributing in that aspect in the office. And
Awesome, congratulations.
yeah, thanks. So I just want to let you guys know, and we'll keep you posted. Yes, Roger.
You haven't done MCA work yet.
We all know we don't want Craig being the MCA. So don't worry about that. I won't be transitioning into that. Yeah. Right. So yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I may be doing some stuff helping the Tampa Big Red team in Tampa a little bit. So I may use that as an opportunity to focus on that a little bit. So, but I'm not really sure. I'm excited. I'm kind of going to use 2021 as a year to figure out, as you all know, I've got, and just know this, and I forgot to mention this, this should be kind of what I started, is me being a single dad full time. It's a big part of the reason. It's a lot. So my main focus is my girls. And that's what it goes back to. By building a successful real estate business can allow a lot of things. And you do that, and you follow the models, you follow the systems of what we teach. can allow opportunities to where I'm now able to focus on my girls. So thank you all.
Yeah, thanks, Greg. Appreciate it.
Of course, I gotta do things quickly. With me, I gotta head out. My girls are going by. Girls are going by themselves doing homeschool.
Thanks again, Craig.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. All right, and real quick, we're going to take a couple minutes. Each partner meeting, we're going to, in the future, we're going to start trying to showcase and focus a little bit on each of our ALC leadership members. And today we're going to have a few minutes of Mr. Jay Usher talking to us about some tips and tricks. I know quite a few of us have been through his training classes, and we always appreciate it, but I'm excited to hear about what Jay has to say for us today. So with that, yes, sir.
Give you a couple of tips on DocuSign, something you may not have known about.
There you go. You might still have to share the screen again.
Come on. There we go.
So Jay, do you care if I share your screen?
Yeah, I'm gonna share it real quick. Yeah.
All right.
Go.
Hi, guys. I'm in DocuSign. I'm in Command right now into an opportunity. And in the opportunity here, I've created one called Magic Kingdom Drive, and it's with Mickey Mouse and Minnie. So as you know, when you're in I'm going to hide this up here somewhere. When you're in your command and you're in your opportunity, click on documents. We're going to go into DocuSign. Over here under go to transaction. This is when you've already created your link between DocuSign and your opportunity. I'm going to go ahead and go to the transaction. That's going to kick me into DocuSign. We hope. And of course, it's not working. Where is it?
It goes. There you go. This little, see that little.
There it is. Yeah,
Blocking them.
yeah, I've tried it. How many times can I sign into DocuSign? Okay, finally. Once you get into DocuSign, there's tabs here at the top: details, documents, people, envelopes, messages, and history. You're all familiar, I hope, with setting up room docs and under contract offers, whatever, however you want to organize that. I wanted to show you today that if you click on the people tab, these are the people that have access to see your opportunity. If you go over here to invite, has anybody ever wanted to invite a vendor to your opportunities so you can send them docs as well? Anybody thought about doing that? If you click on your invite up here, you can put in the person's email. Let's do that. Who we put in here? I'll just put myself. All right. You got to put in the person's name and address, last name. Under transaction side, you're going to select, is this on the listing side or on the buyer side? Say I'm going to add a lender on this, and it's going to be on the buy side. Under room role, this is going to be a vendor. It's an external vendor. And the permissions that they get are only going to be, they can add documents to rooms, or they can view documents in your room. They can't alter them. They can't do anything like that. So once you invite them, that sends out an email to them, and then they create their own account, or if they already have an account, they can sign into their account, and then now they have access to your room. So that was one thing. The other thing that I wanted to show you is if you go up here to your name and you go to your profile, you know, DocuSign, .loop, all of those, they create this electronic signature at the bottom, and it's just basically something in script. If you've ever wanted to, should be in DocuSign, sorry. Where we go? When you're in DocuSign, go up to your profile. When it draws, that's where the your initials are up here. Manage profile. And here you also have these tabs here: personal, private security, connected apps, signatures. If you go to signatures, it already has the scripted signatures in here. Those are defaults. But if you click on edit, it gives you the choice of all these styles of signatures that you could have. Some that look a little more real, some that might look close to your own. You can also draw your own signature. You can do it with a pen or a marker, and you basically just draw your signature and your initials there. Or you can upload a signature that you already have, as long as it's a JPEG, it's a PNG, a bitmap, or a GIF. Okay. 2 tips real quick in DocuSign if you want to change those things. I was supposed to do it under 5 minutes. Did I make it? All right. Things to know about DocuSign.
Short and sweet.
Yep.
I like it. All right, Jay, appreciate it. Thank you for showing us those quick little tips and tricks.
Send me an email.
Oh, no, you're okay.
I'll set up stuff.
Let's see.
Can we get some theme music for him next time?
Yeah, absolutely.
3 minute song. That's all you got.
I'm going to jump through a couple more slides, and Miss Amy Dixon, whenever you're ready, let me know, and we'll get you in here. There have been some changes to command. I don't think a lot of these affect all the agents as much as they do the Market Center leadership team, but I want to talk to it a little bit. We have command onboarding. The other thing they did recently was, I don't know if all of you noticed, but there were tons of holiday designs, and I know we're past that point, but the neat thing about command is that anytime you're building any kind of marketing, whether you want to use it within command or to Facebook or to print your own media, the templates and in the design pages in command are pretty amazing. And for the holidays, I mean, they built every single holiday you could come up with and provided plenty of content for each of those sections. So if you haven't used command or the We brand in command for the design yet, take a second look. It's pretty amazing and it's super user friendly. And you don't have to be a Photoshop person to make some pretty high quality, excellent presentations and mailers to your team.
And
So
your email signature and other like basic stuff in it too.
yeah, like our logo. You're right. It's got our company logos there for easy use, and you can upload a bunch of your own as well. So some pretty neat stuff. I don't know the end all be all of this, but I always like talking about it. But yeah, so e-edge, if you're still using it, or what's it, Market Leader, I think at this point, those are still there and available to you, but it's not being provided by Keller Williams anymore. It's more or less you're signing those contracts and deals and managing your sites and however you use those on your own at this point. So going forward, we are command focused. And the other part of that is DocuSign. So we've been talking about the DocuSign.loop transition for quite some time. I don't know if it's finally, we finally pulled that Band-Aid off and we're only supporting DocuSign, but I'd have to say we probably are. The biggest impact that you're going to see if you're a .loop user is any of the forms that if they were updated by the state or any of the other MLS systems, you're not going to see those automatically updated. The forms and files in DocuSign will be updated. And if for any reason any of them aren't, let us know and we'll go ahead and get those changes made. But you're still welcome to use .loop if that's your document warehouse of choice. Totally understand, but just due to cost, it's really cost prohibitive for us to continue to maintain both systems. So moving forward, DocuSign, DocuSign, DocuSign. And one thing I want to walk through everybody today and spend a little bit of time on, it's the end of the year. Goal planning is huge. And I want to walk individuals through getting your 2021 goals into command so that you can kind of see where you're at day to day, month to month, and year over year. And Miss Amy Dixon, do you want to talk real quick or do you want me to jump into this? Because this is going to take me a good bit of time and kind of round out the rest of my meeting. Oh, yeah, very cool.
Okay, if you know me, hi friends. If you know me, you might be very surprised to know that I love spreadsheets because I'm not a numbers person, but spreadsheets make me numbers person and I don't have to think, they're just there. So every year I run all kinds of numbers, just so we know. And if I were to ask the general public or even you guys, when did we sell more houses in 2019 or 2020? The answer would be 2020. We sold 373 more houses in 2020 than we did 2019. We sold 5,423. How much do you think the average price point went up? Or did it go down?
It went up.
You know it went up, yeah.
12,000.
Probably 12%. 10 to 12,000. 15. 35. Oh, man.
Okay, see this, wait, I asked the question and then this is why I don't do things other than spreadsheets. In 2019, the average sale price was $186,703 for our Syra. In 2020, so 186,700, 211,962, almost 212. So you guys, as the productivity coach, it's out there. We're killing it. And if you aren't right now lead generating and shouting from the rooftops the story that your house is worth maybe $20,000, $30,000 more than it was when you bought it, if not more, then you're doing yourself a disservice. So I have this lovely spreadsheet that has all kinds of great information on it. If you would like a copy of it, let me know. I try to run this monthly. Sometimes I'm great at it and sometimes I'm not as great at it, but it has days on market. And then I even have it broken down that the hottest price point is $150 to $199. And we all knew that. But what's interesting is that right now in that price point in Clark and Floyd County, we only have 26 homes active, but we have 106 pending. And 101 closed in the last month. So like as soon as the houses are going on the market in that price range. So that's where you should be going out and trying to find it, door knocking or flyering or whatever you're legally allowed to do. So if you have any questions about crazy numbers, come see me. Thank you. And join the productivity coaching program. Yeah.
Thank you, Amy. And I
And have culture. Yes.
Can I
Yes,
add
sir.
to that? Because I think people get, that they don't understand one thing in particular. Inventory is low,
right,
no question about it. But that doesn't mean sales are low.
right,
The situation is that properties are selling much faster as they enter the market. We did in fact sell more homes in 2020 than we did in 2019. And the prediction is that 21 is going to bypass 20. We're still going to have low inventory. When you consider that many builders have just stopped building spec homes, they're finishing what they have. This spring, we're going to have a hell of a problem with inventory. So you're right, Amy. If you're not talking to people right now in existing homes about why they should put their house on the market, you're making a big mistake.
okay,
Because existing homes are going to continue to rise in price exponentially because the builders have stopped building spec homes.
yeah, that's-
One more thing that I want to say, right now we are at 0.7 months of inventory. Not even 1 month of inventory. And we have, as of 2 days ago, we had only 415 homes on the market in Clark and Floyd County, and 129 of them were built in 2020 or this year, so they may not even be able to move in too.
right.
So we need lots and lots of resale homes.
Right.
Get out there and get it. Thank you. I'm off my soapbox.
All right. Thank you both. And I am going to give another shout out to the productivity coaching program. One thing I want to mention to everybody, if your business isn't where you want it to be, the productivity coaching program isn't just for new agents. It's really for any agent that wants to better their career and learn more about what they can do to help build their real estate business or team. So if you're interested, please reach out to Amy Dixon. I know we have a lot of neat things coming down the pipeline this year that could really help boost your business, and that's a great place to start. Before I jump into goals, I'm going to hand the mic over to Mr. Roger Kirkman, and he'll talk a little bit about our end of year numbers and profit share.
Hello. Real quick, I do not have fully end of year numbers yet, but what we transmitted yesterday, and today's all the big boost up for the new month and new year. That's why my door's still closed. We profit shared in December $14,892. That is back to our people. I have a stack on my desk like this of all the people that are involved in profit share. If your name isn't in it, and I'm talking to people there too on web, if your name isn't in it, why? It's literally free money. It's free money to you. You're not doing anything for it besides recruiting. I get it. It's crazy times right now. I've talked to Broker Bob a few times. Now is the time when people are moving and shaking and shifted and checking out new brokerages and this, that, and the other, what's hot, what's not, what can get me a fast buck now. And then they might end up back with us because, oh God, it wasn't what I thought it was. The grass isn't always greener. You got to water your grass to be as green as that one sometimes. So if you walk over there and don't water it, it's going to die again. So let's think about this. We're giving money out every single month. Number two, really quick, for anybody that has an office in this building, your new office lease will be coming to you with the date of January 11th on it. We're going to have a conversation. Prices are going down per seat a little bit. And here's what we got. We have to have these signed by everybody that has an office space. We also need to have your logos, a high resolution copy of your logo, because we have new signage going around the building to make sure that we are loaded properly. We're trying to make it look like a business again, and we are trying to strategically implement the things that we know you are asking for.
Do we still have office space available?
We do have about 4 or 5 desk spaces available as of right now. There might be another one coming open that's a 3-desk office that may be coming open within the next month or two. Not sure. And that is because a group has procured a building, which I will never knock them for, because if people are able to save their company or their business money by combining a lot of stuff, storage and everything. Speaking of storage, we have the new building in the back. If you rent an office space here and you sign one of these and you have an office, you have storage in that shed back there for signage and things like that. Come see me about it. That's part of the whole thing. Nothing extra. That's just something for you to have to be able to put some stuff there, a little bit more value to it. We also are working very quickly to get out a quarterly temperature gauge. I've asked you guys to come talk to me. I know Robert has. I know we try and seek out people at times when we have the opportunity to get there too. We want to know. It's 2021. It's a new year. It's a new fiscal year. It's a new payroll year. It's a new year for all of us. So what is it that we can do to make it better for you and your business? What are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? What can we do better? What do we need to stop doing? So I'm going to send this out to everybody. I don't want names on it if you don't want to put your name. If you want your name on it, fine. And then we'll definitely sit down and have face-to-face conversations. But we want to know what's going on. We don't know what we don't know, and we can't fix what we don't know. That's my thing. So let's actually get after it and actually have a good year. We're selling houses like crazy. All the prices are up. Where's the money going? In your pocket or somebody else's?
All right. Thanks, Roger. I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. Oh, by the way, Director of Agent Services is Cuban now. He actually has a title formally, not just technology. He's your Director of Agent Services.
First day I came in, somebody was like, can you help me with the printer? I thought you were a tech guy. Man, not
Agent Services.
So now I'm a printer scanner. Gotcha. So it's on the printer.
Right.
But yeah, bring everything to me and I'll look through it. It will at least be heard and addressed.
Says sharing is pause. Let's stop this. I'm going to reshare my desktop again to everybody in the group. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm logged back in. So 2 things. I would love to see if we had all our agents running command, working smart plans, and just blowing your business up within it. And I know that's not the case. Not everybody uses command. You do have your own systems, and agents do use their own CRM. For our purposes here in this market center, it just makes things a lot easier for us to manage, really the services that we provide to you when we can see it all in one place, and command helps us do that. And so we as a market center actually get rated based on the percentage of our agents that either use command and also use smart plans and also put goals in there for the year. There's a bunch of other categories that they measure us on, but those are kind of the big ones that if we had, large amount of adoption on it, it'd make us look a lot better to the region overall. It would probably help our businesses out. And, so I do want to run through it very briefly with everybody. It's goal planning time, it's end of the year. And so knowing where you're at and where you want to get this year is a pretty key piece of information to know. And you can do that right in command. The very first thing when you sign in, if you're used to using command, you'll see set my 2021 goals, and you'll probably notice that in your dashboard, it's got some information around those goals and whether you're achieving them or not. I'm going to go ahead and set my 2021 goals with everybody here today, because I want you to see how quick and easy it is and then what it does for you afterwards. One thing about my command is I use it for agent recruiting, not buying and selling houses. So what you see here is going to be vastly skewed and different from what you'd probably normally see, but keep in mind, it's going to be based on you selling real estate. So the first page that comes up after you click on your goal setting is this little sheet over here to the side that is asking you for information. You can do goals for 2020, 2021, and 2022. And you can put old stuff in there as well. How you did last year, you could come in and type every bit of that in. And then that way it'll give you a picture of comparison between last year and this year. For our purposes today, I went ahead and just said, hey, I want to make $10,000 a month. And so I've set the goal of my net profit at 120. Your expenses, you could put your actual expenses in here for what you did last year in 2020, and then adjust for whatever new ones, or if you're going to adjust down for your expenses and your cost of good or your cost of sales. I've just generically put 60,000 and 60,000. One thing we talk about a lot here at Keller Williams is that economic model. And we always try to make sure that we structure it to where we're in that 30-30-40 model, where you're keeping 40% of your money at the end of the year, and that 30% is on expenses and 30% is on your cost of sales. And we call that being in model if your business is following in line with that. And that 30-30-40 really gives us some insight into where we need to focus to help either make your business more financially sound, or if there's an area that we need to focus to help build it up in general. And it prints those out right here. You'll notice it says, I'm anticipating that I'm going to make 50% profit, which is better than the 40. So the reason I'm using that, if you look in the MREA, it might be in MREA 2 in some of the notes for the book coming out, but they talk about specifically where you make money when you're a millionaire real estate agent or below that. And oddly enough, when you're in the early days of your business, you actually are more profitable. Your business becomes slightly less profitable when you have to start bringing on employees, buyer specialists, listing specialists, directors of your business of operations, or lead managers, or just administrative managers. So it does get more expensive. But for our purposes today, being 50%, 25-25, we're pretty close to being in model. And you can adjust your listings if you intend on being an agent that focuses more on getting listings, or if you focus more on being a buyer's agent. You can adjust those percentages. If you have a huge leasing business, you can put that in here as well, and it's going to help you track that information. I use the $200,000 price for the average home price here in our market, and I know we just got new numbers from Amy, so that's awesome. And 3% on each side of the transaction. If your numbers are telling you you're only getting 2.5% on average, or you're actually getting 3.5% on average, go ahead and adjust those numbers there, add them in, and it'll provide the next steps for you. This information to the right, you might notice that there, a lot of times it's pre-built. I adjusted mine slightly, and the goal, if you can, put better estimates in here on whether you think you're going to take a lead and actually make it into a contact that you talk to, and whether that contact's actually going to become an appointment, you know those numbers better than I do for your business. And it's really different for everybody, because largely we could all get leads and contacts, but if we're not following up with them in a regulated manner or a consistent manner, your conversion rate's probably going to be much lower. So put in what's reality to your business, or what you think you're going to be doing this year. The reason this is important, this next sheet that it gives us, let's see, it sums it all up. And this is what I want to show you. Once you go back to your goals here in the system, this pipeline, where did it all go? 2021, that's why. I just select 2021. What the pipeline does for you, it tells you how many leads you need, how many contacts you need, how many appointments you need to set, whether those people made those appointments or not. And I'm just running down this right here. 3,100 leads, 1,200 contacts, 149 appointments, 100 appointments kept. And if you're in the last class, Craig, just before this meeting today, Craig was showing us how to make 100,000. And in that, it literally said, have 100 appointments. If you do your 2 appointments a week, you're going to get $100,000 at the end of this year, net profit. And it follows suit with the numbers that I have thrown in on the side. So if my database, looking at this here, shows I have 273 contacts in there, I only have 1 lead, I have no appointments, none of this stuff set, but it tells me what my goal is. If I have 1,240 contacts, that's the database that you need to work to make that amount of money. So if your database is already that big, you pretty much can make this work out and make that money if you're following up, if you're being consistent, if you're converting those appointments and actually landing those, not just landing the listing appointments, but winning those listings as well and turning them over to contracts. So it's just a really neat, simple way for you to manage your goals in a quick format, see whether you're on track or not. I'm well behind on the number of people I need in my database. So I need to focus on lead generation and converting those leads into real contacts that I work with. And as the year goes along, it becomes real evident where you're falling behind. And so in any of these areas that you're not making progress, you'll know where to focus. I highly recommend that each of the agents here today take some time, go ahead, put your 2021 goals into command. It's going to help you tremendously, and it's definitely going to help us here at the Market Center kind of measure how we're doing for you and whether we're meeting the commitments that we've made as well. So that's my last piece on the goal planning.
But wait a minute.
Yes.
Breaking news.
All right.
Breaking news. And here, wait, I'm sharing because I want to see these people real quick.
This is a big deal, guys, and as the culture chair, stop share, there you go. Hi. This breaking news. This is real time happening. Dana and the McKissicks, Dana Gentry and the McKissicks, are hosting the first annual regional leadership academy. And they have, out of 4,600 regional agents, they have chosen 20 to invite to this 9-session leadership academy. And one of our own has been chosen to be in this leadership academy. And he doesn't want me to tell him, but it's Ethan Rapier, who is going to be, woo! Yeah. He's been sitting over here pretty much like a nervous wreck because he's so excited and he just got the email. So we're all very proud of you. We're very excited to see what you do and bring it all back so we can learn. Yay!
That's great news.
Breaking news. I love breaking news.
Yeah, me too. Thank you so much for that.
It's ridiculously awesome.
Let's see, I'm gonna.
See that.
Change training calendar. To those of you still on the call, I'm sharing my screen for 2 more real quick slides. It'll be just 1 moment and we'll get you guys on your way. Book club for the year. I'm sorry, not for the year. I definitely want to have an ALC book club that we pick on our own. Outside of that, I am going to try to make a book club and stick to it. They created one in December for our region, and they are reading MREA again. And I think it's every Friday. Even if you've missed them, you can go back and watch some of the videos that they've talked about, and I'll send those links out to everybody. But going forward, you can participate in those Facebook Live events. And again, they're every Friday at 12 Central, so 1 o'clock Eastern time. And highly recommend picking MREA up. If you haven't read it, read it. If you haven't read it recently, do it. And you know, if you could read it.
If you haven't read it this year, read it.
Yeah. If you haven't read it this week. That's right, absolutely. Looking forward to an exciting year. The last slide's really about COVID, and it's probably a little bit old information. We know where we're at here in Indiana and how we fall on the map. I would just say be safe and follow the guidelines. And really looking forward to being able to get past this to where we can get more agents in the office and we can do some better planning around that. I know we've got award ceremonies coming in February, working with the culture committee, the ALC, and the Market Center leadership team to come up with something that is really engaging, that gets everybody interested and excited. And as we get more news about that, I'll share that with everybody out there in the field. But with that, I will leave you guys back with your time. And, oh, we got questions? All right, and Mr. Bob Murphy's gonna.
And then while he's,
Yes, sir, because.
Floyd County apparently just went red again. with
Did they?
COVID. So, put your mask on, be safe, wash your hands.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you please step 6 feet that way. All right. I don't know if I guess I got to stand. All right, so here's the deal. We have a placeholder now. You realize that we have required documents, and that if the document is actually not required for your transaction, then we have a placeholder that you can put in there. Well, let me explain something to you. I actually looked. So we've got somebody, I haven't talked to him yet, but they honestly put in the placeholder on every document. So you can't do that because I'm going to catch it. So if it says seller's disclosure, but it's new construction, it's not required, but it is a required document. So now there is what we call a placeholder, a piece of paper that says new construction, seller's disclosure not required, that you put in place of the seller's disclosure. Then that tells me that, hey, this is new construction. I don't need to send it back to them. But if you put the placeholder in for everything, you're going to get it all back and you're just going to piss me off. So I just want you to know, I've seen 4 transactions now since the placeholder's been available, where I swear to you, every document had the placeholder in its place. I haven't talked to the agent yet. Maybe they don't understand what they're doing, but don't do that. Just use the placeholder where it is appropriate and it won't be a problem for you. So Kevin, you've got it loaded in DocuSign, the placeholder?
When they come back and say it's been submitted to DocuSign.
Okay, so the placeholder's been submitted to DocuSign. As soon as it's available, then it'll be in the templates for you guys to be able to use. So just a word to the wise, don't piss me off. Just put the dang documents that belong in there. So you need to understand this too. If you don't, you will not get paid. Your commission will be held until every document that's required has been submitted or the proper placeholder has been submitted in its place. So just please keep that in mind. That's it.
All right.
Thank you. And thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Did you mention about the investor thing you're doing the meeting?
I have not, but I'm not talking about that. All right. Any other questions, concerns before we cut everybody loose? All right. Well, thanks everybody for your time today. Really appreciate it. Those on the call today, we'll work on the sound for next time. I say that every time, but one of these days we'll get it fixed. Appreciate you guys. Have a great week.